Hello, welcome everybody to our first Villa Maria virtual wine tasting of 2025. For those of you who don't know me, I am Anna Childs. I'm the events coordinator at Somerset, and I will introduce you to our wine specialist here in a moment as well. But I'll just run through the housekeeping of a webinar event. So obviously you guys will be able to see and hear us in our presentation once we bring that up, but we can't see you guys in your villages celebrating and enjoying the wines. If you have any questions about the wines at any point, there is a chat function at the bottom of your screen and you can just type that in and then we will get to them and answer all your questions about the wines. So, without further ado, I will introduce you to our specialists. We have Orion, I hope that I pronounce it correctly, sorry, who is our senior winemaker with the Indivin Group. So he was born in France, studied winemaking in the Bordeaux and did his first harvest in New Zealand with Indivin in 2010. So he started as a vintage cellar hand in Marlborough and progressed through the roles of cellar supervisor, assistant winemaker to winemaker, and now has moved to Gisborne to become a senior winemaker in 2016. So he's worked in vintages in France, in the Rhone Valley and Bordeaux, travelling between northern and southern hemispheres for harvest before settling in New Zealand. So we've definitely got an expert here with us to run through the tasting. And we're also joined by Tara, and she is the partnerships manager for the Indivin Group. So she manages some key distribution and customer partnerships, including our wonderful national carrier in New Zealand. So Tara has a genuine love of wine and has travelled to many wine producing regions of the world and has a soft spot for the Hawke's Bay Reds and sparkling wines, as do I. So we've got 3 delicious wines to taste in our Varietals tasting today. So I won't jabber on too much, but we have, our first wine is the Villa Maria Private Bin Gewürztraminer. So I'll pass it over to you guys.
All right. Thank
you, Anna.
Thanks, Anna. So I'm Aurelian. We'll be presenting to you the technical parts of the wines we've got today. But first, I'll just do a brief update because we're right in the middle of harvest at the moment. So in my region in Gisborne, we did finish a couple of weeks ago, but it was a great harvest. But a good lead into summer. Got a bit wet around Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, bit cold in January, but then all the period of harvest between February and March was great. It's a great season in Gisborne, where we produce mostly Chardonnay and Pinot Gris, but also a little bit of Gewürztraminer that will be in the first wine we present today. And everything was looking great. Further south in Hawke's Bay, they're still doing harvest, so they've picked all their white grapes at the moment. They've done in rosé, and now they're going to be moving on to reds, which take a bit longer to ripen. So we're just having a little pause between the whites before the reds get ripe, and that should be on the way from later this week. And in Marlborough, where I am sitting today, the harvest is still going at full speed. Lots of grapes this season, abundant crop. Lots of grapes, great quality, great. Healthy grapes, good flavors. And just came back from a vineyard tour in the Awatere Valley, which is south of Blenheim, where harvest was happening at the moment. They're beautiful grapes at the moment, great flavor. So really looking forward to the results in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
That's me for now.
So should we have a little taste?
Let's taste the Gewürztraminer then. So this is the So Villa Maria Gewürztraminer, which is an East Coast blend. Um, Gewürztraminer, its name is a bit complicated to pronounce. It's from German, whereas the Gewürz part means spice. So what you'll see in this wine is quite spicy, some spicy notes, rose petals, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and that's where the name of the variety comes from. That's what you can smell in your glass. It's a East Coast blend. So this year we made wines both in the Marlborough region and in Gisborne, and we combine those two wines together to make that wine. Gewürztraminer is a common, how we say, a peculiar grapes to grow. Like it doesn't behave like you want, so it is really depending on what the harvest wants to give you. So viticulturists don't like to grow that too much because they don't know what's gonna deliver during the season. It could give you a large crop or a tiny crop. If the rains doesn't comes in, it's not gonna ripen. It's gonna take longer. So every year is a bit of a surprise when you grow Gewürztraminer, but always got those beautiful spicy notes on the nose, and that's what we like as winemakers about Gewürztraminer.
Mm, lovely. And poor Tara doesn't actually have any wine to taste today. She's just joining us
Yes,
to give her
I
expert
do.
advice.
I'm teasing you all with some water, and I'm a little bit jealous of everyone consuming wine. But look, I hope you guys are all enjoying it. Gewürztraminer is a really beautiful wine. I think it's great with food as well. So I don't know how many of you have got sort of cheese platters or food in front of you, but those spicy notes are fantastic with sort of some stronger cheeses. So if you're a blue cheese fan, that's definitely a really good match for Gewürz. And it's a beautiful wine that really sort of speaks the terroir, which I think what Aurelian was talking to there, in the sense that it can be quite fickle and hard to grow, but also really reflects the sense of place and the climate and the soil and where it comes from. So hopefully that's tasting well.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that. I think that's quite a lovely wine. If anyone
Yeah.
has any questions, please just type them into the chat function now and we can answer them. What sort of price range would this be at supermarkets if our residents would like to purchase it?
Absolutely. So this one's quite readily available. So it's definitely in most grocery and retail. And the regular retail price on it's $15.99. So really reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's at most supermarkets, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So most supermarkets and liquor stores.
Lovely.
And I've written some little fun facts about it as well. So when we talk to different grape varieties, winemakers will often reference, and I'm sure Aurelian will back me up here, there's the noble grapes. So they're kind of favored amongst winemakers as being wines that produce, grape varieties that can produce really good wines. And Gewürz is actually one of the noble grapes. So that's quite an interesting fact. Something else with Gewürz is it's quite low in acid. So it can be like the sugar levels will come across a little bit higher and sort of lower acidity. And it can also be quite versatile in the sense you can have drier styles, and it can also be a sweeter wine as well. So you can have it as a noble rot, so meaning botrytis. You can have it as a dessert wine, so a really sweet wine as well. But I think the one you guys are tasting today is probably more on the dry side. But perhaps Aurelian's got something to add there on the sweetness levels.
Yeah. The style that works great with Gewürztraminer and that we see most in New Zealand is that this one is, we say, maybe half dry. So the sugar level is not that high. It's about 8 gram per liter residual sugar, but as I said, the low acid makes it look a bit sweeter. But it's just to balance out those beautiful aromas, spicy and having that sweetness in the back. But yeah, a really beautiful wine without being too sweet. And it goes really well with Asian cuisine because you have those sweet, sour, spicy, and I think that's a wine that goes really well with that and matches most of those meals. So it's really good. And I said normal grapes because in grapes come from the Alsace, Germany region, Alsace in France, but close to Germany, and that's where most of the the Gewürztraminer is grown in the world, and yeah, it has that special status, same as Riesling, of being considered noble, where you can make those, let's say, late harvest, and yeah, make some beautiful wines that reflect the terroir they grown on. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting variety, and there's not a lot in New Zealand. So to be fair, all the wines we're gonna taste today are pretty niche and say exceptional because of their rarity. The Gewürztraminer is only about 180 hectares of Gewürztraminer grown in New Zealand. Out of New Zealand, there's about 35,000 hectares of grapes planted. There's only 180 of that is Gewürztraminer. So some pretty special wines today. The other ones are even less than that. But I'll get to them later on.
Excellent. So our village, well, actually two of our villagers have said that they really like this wine. So Somerset Purakawa Place up in Taranaki have said that they love it, and Avonhead Village down in Christchurch have also said that they quite like this wine. So that's really good. We're off to a brilliant start. What we do with our wine tastings is we just like to give you guys an opportunity at the village to just discuss amongst yourself how you're enjoying the wine. Just have a minute or two, and I'll bring up just a PowerPoint presentation with just some wine images. And we'll just sort of be quiet here awkwardly in the corner for a minute and just let you guys discuss amongst yourself. And then when we come back, we'll get into tasting the next wine. I've got one more question here. Oh, Hamilton Village, Somerset down the lane, have said that they really like this wine too. So I think we're off to a brilliant start. We've selected some great wines. Thank you, guys. I'll just bring up a presentation just for some images, and we'll just give you a minute to discuss this amongst yourselves. Well, I hope we gave you enough time to discuss the wine, how you all enjoyed it. We've just got a couple more comments from a few other villagers. So Levin have said that they really like this wine as well, and so has Karaka Village. So that's fantastic. So it's definitely a hit, this wine. Wigram has asked, what is the price of the wine to buy? I think he said $15.95. Is that right?
Correct. Yep, $15.99 regular retail.
Perfect. Very reasonable. Excellent. So let's move on to our next wine. So we have the Esk Valley Chenin. And I will let you guys get into the tasting notes on that.
Yeah, I'd just like to start a little bit about Esk Valley for or some of you may not know the brand. So the Esk Valley was purchased by Villa Maria in 1986, close to the Esk Valley, and under the previous winemaker was Gordon Russell. That guy really liked to push boundaries in what wine were getting made, and he's the winemaker who introduced new varieties to the brand. Hence why we still have these really funky Chenin Blanc and Grenache nowadays, among other in the artisanal range from Esk Valley. Most of the wines, all from Esk, are from the Hawke's Bay region. So the two examples we have today are from Hawke's Bay. And so the first one is a Chenin Blanc. What's good about Chenin Blanc? So again, a variety that comes from France in the Loire Valley. It's characterized by like quite a high acidity in this wine. So what you can taste in your glass, you're gonna have the beautiful, citrusy, peachy baked apple, but then you're gonna have that acidity that helps you, let's say, on the palate, that helps the wine lingers and stay a lot of time on the palate, on your taste buds. It has the same residual sugar as the Gewürztraminer, but here you will see the difference of what the acid in the wine does to the balance, how you feel it on your palate. So this one tastes a lot drier. It's a bit more complex. There's a bit of lees work, and this goes more, say, with like seafood dishes. So you want fish with some fresh seafood, and that goes beautifully with it.
Lovely. I'm going to have a taste of this one. I have not tried this before, so I'm quite excited.
Lovely. And yeah, I guess to talk to the Chenin Blanc as well. So Aurelian spoke to that high acidity that we're talking about there. And that makes it great with food pairings. So anytime you've got a wine which is showing sort of a higher acid, it's great at cutting through fattiness in food. So if anyone's got a cheese platter in front of them and they've got some camembert or some brie in there, I highly recommend this wine with it because it's going to really sort of that acid in the wine is going to cut through the creaminess of the cheeses. Also as a great palate cleanser. So if you're having something, a big fatty dish, and you need to you need to sort of cleanse at the end of it, then a nice glass of Chenin Blanc is going to help as well. So a really beautiful wine, and I'm very jealous that I don't have a glass in front of me.
It is quite lovely. And where would people find this if they wanted to buy a bottle? It's
Yes,
not
so
as common.
these Esk Valley wines, so these artisanal wines are a little bit rarer. So Aurelian sort of spoke to that. There's not a lot of these plantings. It's not a lot available. So it is definitely more your fine wine stores. So I know we've got some stock lists at the Fine Wine Delivery Company. Black Market online have got it. And then look, possibly your local retailers as well. But it's definitely not as readily available because it is quite rare. And these are premium wines as well. So you're looking towards the sort of $29.99 sort of price point. So yeah, close to $30 a bottle.
Yeah, worth every drop.
Yeah, so this is a single vineyard wine. So the previous Gewürztraminer was a blend of two regions. This is just from one site in Hawke's Bay, in the Gimlet Gravel region. So it's quite some young vines, and it has been fermented into old oak barrels, and just to fight a bit that acidity and get the creaminess from the lees that's in the wine. Get a great mouthfeel and bring richness to the wine. So, and as I said, Chenin Blanc is not very common in New Zealand. There's only 20 hectares in all of New Zealand, and 3.5 of that in Hawke's Bay. So that's why you can't find it really anywhere. And it's a very special wine that you need to treat yourself to. It's really special. Not a lot of people make it in New Zealand, but it makes some great wines and get that freshness, that acidity from that variety that looks lovely. And say, I love it with the creamy fish and cream. Oh, there's some really great combination to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Avonhead Village in Christchurch have said that they love this wine as well. And I've got a couple of questions. So from the St. John's Village up in Auckland, they've said, what are yeast lees? Can you explain that to someone who might not know what they are?
So the winemaking process is that once you press your grapes, you're gonna have a juice that's cloudy from the pressing process. And what we do is we usually settle that juice. So like if you got no orange juice with pulp in it and you leave it in your fridge for a while, then all the pulp will be at the bottom and all the top is clear. Basically, that's what happened in the winery once we press into the tank. So we try to keep all that clear juice, and that's what we ferment with yeast. So we put juice, clear juice, put some yeast, and then the yeast will transform the sugars in juice into alcohol. And then when the yeast have finished their job and the wine is done, they're going to die and remain in the wine. And basically, it's all those dead cells from the yeast that bring when they break down. That's what brings some of that richness into the wine, because there are components in the yeast cell that contributes to the mouthfeel you get in those wines. And when we put wine into barrels, there's a lot of surface contact. So the barrel is a horizontal vessel, whereas most of the tank are the other way around. So basically, when you have your barrel like this, there's a lot of solids at the bottom from the yeast lees, and you have more contact with the wine, and that's how you get that richness, big mouthfeel from the barrel fermentation.
Lovely, thank you. And I have just a question in general, not about this wine, but our village Pahurikawa place have just asked a question. Does Villa Maria make a 0% drop, please? So a no alcohol wine.
Good question. I can jump in on that one if you like. We don't quite do a 0%, but we do lower alcohol. So we make in the Villa Maria range, there's a lighter in alcohol rosé and a lighter in alcohol Sauvignon Blanc. So typically they'd be around 12.5, 13%. The lighter in alcohol ones sit around 9%.
Perfect. I've tasted the lighter alcohol Sav, and that's quite a nice wine. We've got one other comment here. How long can it last in the fridge once it's been opened, please?
Oh, Aurelian, do you want that one? How long do you keep them for?
Just keep it overnight. You should indulge yourself. Because once the wine is open, so when we crack the wine, I don't know if you guys notice when you crack the cap open, but you might hear a pop. And that's because when we bottle the wine, we use some inert gas, like usually carbon dioxide, CO2, just to protect the wine during the bottling process. So it acts sort of as a preservative, because basically once you have contact with air and you have oxygen, and the oxygen start damaging the wine, so it alters your aromas. So you can keep your wine open for a long time, but you will see that the quality will go down as you keep it. So the sooner you drink it, the better. But usually, overnight should be no issues. But yeah, you don't want to leave it for too long. You'll notice when you taste it that there's a change in flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I jump in as well and ask about cellaring potential? Because I think Chenin Blanc is one of those wines that will keep for a while. Is that correct?
Yes. Even in New Zealand, I have found some importers from France that have 40, 50-year-old Chenin Blanc available for sale. So yeah, it usually keeps, because usually the higher the acid, the better the protection of the wine, and so that's why you can keep it for a really long time. Aromatic profile will change as you keep them. But yeah, some people like older wines because the aroma profile is completely different, and yeah, some people like that.
Awesome. And I'll jump in with a couple of fun facts as well. So Chenin Blanc is actually quite a versatile grape. So you can have it as a still wine, you can have it as a sparkling wine, you can have it as a sweeter style, noble, like harvest wine. There's a lot of different styles that you can get. It's also very big in South Africa as well. So a lot of plantings of Chenin Blanc in South Africa where it's known as Steen.
There you go. It is little fun facts. I love it. Milldale Village have asked, when tasting the wine with the correct cheese or cheese pairing, I guess, does it really make a difference to the taste of the wine for the better?
That's a great question. Look, I think food and wine matching is really subjective. So there's definitely some guidelines that can help you around sort of getting ideal matches that might appeal to sort of the majority of people, but it is very subjective. So to me, the enjoyment of food and wine just go hand in hand. Like I think it's they can bring out the best in each other when you get it right. But at the same time, there's no sort of set ways of doing it. You can sort of explore. I think with this particular wine, that sort of acid can speak to having it with more creamy dishes or richer dishes. But yeah, there's no sort of real right or wrong, but I definitely think that the wine can help you enjoy the food more and vice versa.
Lovely.
Yeah, and you can have a taste. Like if you have in front of you some cheeses and try the three wines with it, and you can see the response of the wine when you taste it. So there's some great combination or classic combination that goes together. And then I found sometimes on some rates with some cheese, like the combination of having tannin, so a bit of a astringency in your wine, and some of the other cheese like don't go against each other. But some, say with the blue cheese, a bit of sweetness that goes really well against the tangy blue cheese. So there's lots of combo you need to try, and as I said, it's subjective, so everyone's taste buds are different, and just find the right match for you and enjoy.
Lovely. And I've just got one other comment here from Somerset, Monterey Park. They've said, you may have answered this already, but we've only just got the sound up and going. So what does Chenin Blanc mean? It's just the grape, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the name of the variety. Like you have Sauvignon Blanc or you have Chenin Blanc. I don't know what the origin for it is, but the term is, but it's just the name of the variety. Like you have Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc or Gewürztraminer. It's just its name.
Perfect. All right. Well, if anyone has any more questions, just type them in the chat function. But we will just give you guys a couple minutes. We'll just be quiet for a moment and let you guys just discuss amongst yourself how you like that wine. And we'll just have some pictures up on the screen for you to look at if you like. And we'll pop back in a minute. Lovely. Well, we hope we gave you enough time just to have a quick chat amongst yourself. I think that wine is definitely, I love the first one, but I think I do like that one. The last one we just had, that's quite delicious. So our next wine again is a Esk Valley wine, and it is the Grenache, and I'll let you guys tell us about that.
Grenache is from Spain. It's a variety that's even less available in New Zealand. There is less than 2 hectares of that grapes. And basically we produce half of New Zealand's Grenache under this label. It is a grape, so from where it's from in Spain, so it needs warm weather, needs hot, dry, because it takes a lot of time to ripen. So the conditions are made in a lot of part of New Zealand, but we have that grown in the Gimlet gravels, which is one of the warmest terroir you can have in New Zealand to grow grapes, and that's where we can make this wine. Um, Mentioning about Esk Valley and Golden, what another thing that he introduced is fermenting in concrete fermenters. So most of the tanks in New Zealand are stainless steel, but some of those reds are made in concrete fermenters. So what it brings to the wine is a different type of what you call a minerality. There is the heat exchange between the ambient temperature and the ferment in there. So it's self-regulating, so it needs less external cooling intervention, and it helps make the extraction on the wine a lot smoother. So Grenache usually doesn't have a lot of color. So we see it's a light color, a bit more than Pinot, but less probably than a Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon. And it's pretty perfumed. You can get this dried rose, berries, and licorice. It's a really smooth wine. The long ripening season means that Grenache can get a lot of alcohol. This example is probably balanced at about 14%, but in France and in Spain it can go a lot higher than that.
Oh, I like that.
It's good. So it's medium bodied. Again, you've got those beautiful red fruit aromas on the palate. It's not too tannic, so it's quite smooth. And then you got good aftertaste. So it's really low acid, a bit like the Gewürztraminer, so a low acid wine. But it's a medium bodied, so it's not too strong, not too light. Very enjoyable. With some red meat and some cheeses that will go beautifully.
Perfect. And where would our residents find a bottle of this if they wanted to pick one up for purchase?
Yeah, so very similar to the Chenin Blanc. It's this is even rarer. There's not much of it at all. I mean, less than 2 hectares is insane. It's a tiny amount. So similar to online fine wine delivery, black market. If you've got a good sort of fine wine store near you, they can potentially get it in as well. So it is quite a bit rarer, and that's the same price as the Chenin Blanc. So $29.99. So $30 bottle of wine for that one.
Perfect. So
and
our
one of my
residents,
favorites.
yeah, it's delicious. Our residents are very lucky to try 2 of these very rare wines then, aren't they?
Yeah, look, I think we put on it's been a really nice spread for you guys today because quite often we taste the Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnays and classic varietals. And I think today you're really tasting some quite interesting grapes. So Gewurz, Chenin Blanc, Grenache, they're just not that common in New Zealand. Well, Gewurz is quite common, but the other 2 definitely not. So yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it as a treat.
I'm sure they are.
And
we've got
food matching, any ideas? What would the Frenchman prefer? What do you suggest?
I really like my race with a barbecue grill steak, like something simple.
You're making me hungry.
But enjoy the flavor of the wine. It's fruity, so it doesn't need a lot of thing competing with it. Just go, something really nice. But some cheeses go really well because that wine doesn't have too much tannin, so it's probably smooth enough to match most cheese. But it's great. At the barbecue, you'll have a nice bottle of red. Press your friend. No one knows what a Grenache is.
It would be a great gift to give someone, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, Grenache is also used in a lot of blends as well. So they call them GSM blends. They're quite popular in Australia and a few other areas of the world. So they often blend them with Shiraz or Syrah and Mataro as well. So quite often you'll see a GSM blend, and that will have Grenache in it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go.
I'd say that in some years we would add a bit of Syrah to the Grenache blend. just to bring a bit of that acidity back, because the Syrah is usually quite higher acid, and it helps to bring the wine back into balance. So it just depends on the season, what it gives, and we may add a little bit of Syrah, a little bit of spice, a little bit of acid in the back, using a different variety, just to bring the wine where we want it to be. And this one is also aged in large oak barrels for a year after harvest. So once the wine is pressed off, it just ages in those barrels for a long time, just for those tannins to smooth out, and so that the wine is ready to drink by the time we bottle it.
Lovely. We've got a couple of comments or questions here. Someone's just asked, how long will it last after you open the bottle?
Probably reds would handle air a bit more, because in red wine you've got what you call phenolics, which is some compounds that are in the skins of red grapes. And in which you don't have in whites, obviously. And these can add as antioxidants. So if you've got air going in your bed, these will act as antioxidant and prevent the damage to the aromas, which is what happens in whites. So your red could probably stay a bit longer open, which also helps some of those red wine to age through time.
Do you reckon 2-3 days for the red, or?
Yeah, 2-3 days. But again, you will see on the flavor how it evolves. Obviously, if oxygen does damage, you'll smell stuff like what they call aldehydes, which will bring sort of a chocolatey or prunes flavor to your wine. But again, if you have a glass every day, you will notice when it's time to finish the bottle.
Oh, I have to taste chocolate. Doesn't sound all bad.
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
Yeah.
We've got a comment here, very nice red wine from the Levin Tasters, so they're enjoying it. Fantastic. And Wigram has said, they've got a question, they've said, back to the Gewürztraminer. One resident commented that she prefers it served at room temperature. So what's the recommendation there? Can you serve that at room temperature, or should it be cooled in the fridge?
Straight out the fridge is usually not good. You probably need to wait a little bit for the wine to warm up. Because what happens that the cooler the wine, the more suppressed the aromas are. So the warmer the higher the temperature, because the aromas are volatile molecules. So basically, the warmer, the more volatile they become with the alcohol, because the alcohol evaporates, breaks the aromatic molecules with it, and that's what gets into your nostril, and that's what you smell. So, you say at room temperature, probably on white, so wouldn't go that high. Probably want to keep a bit of that freshness. But to be fair, like that red, I've got that Grenache, which is not out of the fridge, but has been kept in the fridge prior, and it's still pretty fresh. And you probably want on something that's quite a high alcohol. I probably want to get that temperature a bit down, because the classic recommendation for reds is room temperature, but that was good like 100 years ago when it was really cold all the time in Europe, and nowadays it can get a bit warmer. So in summer, if you get your reds at your barbecue and you left it in the sun, it's probably not going to taste that great, because all that alcohol will pop in your face and it will make the wine not that pleasant. So you want to keep them maybe chill the bottle half an hour before you're ready to serve it. Because we tend to drink reds, I found too hot. But your whites, you don't want to get them too cold either, because otherwise you want to enjoy what we made for you to enjoy as you should. So let it warm a bit in your glass and enjoy it.
Brilliant. All right, well, I've got a few more questions here, but if you guys have any more, just type them in the chat function, and we might just give you a couple minutes now just to chat amongst yourself, and we'll just flick through some pictures, and then we'll come back and answer some more questions for you. I hope that's just enough time just for you guys to have a quick chat amongst yourself without feeling like you're missing out on anything we're saying. If it's not enough time, please let me know just so that for future tastings we can give you a bit more time or a bit less time, just so we know that we're getting it just right, that you guys are enjoying these tastings. We've got a few comments on here now. So, Avonhead Village down in Christchurch have said that they're really enjoying this wine. Brilliant. And we've got a question here. How much is the red valued at, please? So that was the 29.95. Is that correct?
Yes, both the Grenache and the Chenin Blanc from Esk Valley are, yeah, 29.99.
Perfect. And we've got another question here from Monterey Park. How long can you cellar this wine for?
Aurelian, you got any
Yeah,
stats
I
in
would
your
say,
cellar?
yeah, I mean, it's tasting great at the moment, but something you could easily keep for 10 years and would still look great. Um, yeah, by again wine aging, as I mentioned before, 40, 50-year-old Chenin Blanc, taste will be different. So what I usually recommend to people who don't know is like buy a case and taste the bottle every year, and then you can see how the wine evolves and see whether you like it or not when it's aged. So some people, I know my mom really like when the wines are 10 year and above on the reds because she like those aromas, and it's usually less tannic, so it's smoother wines as it goes as it gets older. But yeah, again, it's a personal taste. Again, when we release them, the wines are ready to drink, but then you can keep for that red year for 10 years. It will still look great. So yeah,
Oh,
just a fun fact on the Grenache, because it's probably something that you don't know compared to all the grapes grown in New Zealand, is that the wood on the Grenache is really strong, which means that when it grows straight up. So it doesn't need trellising. So you see most of the vineyards, or all the vineyards in New Zealand, have got a trellising system where the plant is grown between two wires and in straight lines. Grenache in Spain is grown what you call as a goblet. So it goes, or in Australia as well, is that the plant just shoots by itself up, which is great, but again, prevents mechanizations, which means a lot of the work needs to be done by hand, so that those grapes are hand picked. It's something quite different and unique from these varieties that doesn't need anything to hold it straight. Like the shoots are really strong and stand up by themselves.
that's interesting. We've got a couple more comments here. Residents at Trentham have really enjoyed the red wine, so that's awesome. I think that we've definitely had a good selection of wines that all the villagers are enjoying, so that's brilliant. Avonhead Village have said we missed the answer for the question of the shelf life of the red once opened.
Yeah, about 2, 3 days.
Yeah, perfect. To about 2, 3 days you can keep that for.
Yeah. If you
Lovely.
keep your red in the fridge, it will keep that long. Don't leave it too hot on the bench, because that speeds up the aging process.
Perfect. Couple more comments here. What have we got? Karaka liked the first one best, and we thank you for giving us such an interesting selection. Brilliant. Well, thank you. We're glad you enjoyed it. And Tia Village, hello. They've said residents liked the red here. Somerset Bulcott and Atia are sharing the wine tasting at the Atia Village. Oh, that's neat. So they've come together to do their wine tasting. So that's really neat. And more comments here. Sue Hawkins, so up in the Whangarei Village, they've said, we really enjoyed this selection. The winning wine for us was the Gewurz. There you go. Avonhead said they've liked them all. Thank you. Everyone's commenting now. It's nice to see what everyone thinks of them, though. That's really nice to get a overall idea of everyone's thoughts. One resident said the red wouldn't last that long. It would be drunk in 4 days. Yeah, absolutely. And Bell Blocker said, thank you. Always a fun event. Very much enjoyed. Brilliant. So if anyone has any more questions, just type them in now. We do have three more Villa Maria virtual wine tastings throughout this year, so make sure you keep an eye out in your village newsletters and check in with your ACs when they are. But there's normally one every quarter, and we've got a lovely selection of wines that we are going to be tasting this year, so definitely keep an eye out for the tastings. Um, Now, for the black market, the online place that you can buy the wines, do you have to sign up for an account for that, or can people just go online and purchase a bottle, or is it by the case? Do you know?
There's a few different retailers online. So some of them, yeah, most of them should just be, you can just online shop. So it should be pretty straightforward.
Perfect.
I
Excellent.
think my advice would be to Google it and get the best deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Monterey Park said residents enjoyed the first one the best. There you go. Yeah, type in and let us know what your favourite wine was. If you haven't yet already, let us know which one was your favourite because it's always lovely to know which is the favourite ones.
What was your favorite one, Anna?
Or it's a I do like the Gewürztraminer, but because that's more, I like the rarer ones, I think. So think I like the Chenin Blanc the best, and then the red.
That's
I think
Aurelian.
I'm going to go with that. Then the Gewürz, but nothing against that one. Obviously, I do quite like the Gewürz.
I do favor the
Um,
red, the Algo Grenache too.
Yep, second that. Love the Grenache.
yeah. So a big thank you from Prebleton Village down in Christchurch. We've all really enjoyed the tasting. That's awesome. And I think this is Prebleton's first tasting that they've come to, so that's brilliant that you're really enjoying it. Levin likes the first white wine and the red the best. Margie from Hamilton have said we like the Gewürztraminer the best. That's quite interesting. That seems to almost be the most popular one. Wigram Village down in Christchurch said lots of us liked the first wine and the red too. And we've got the red was a popular choice here. We all had a great time, and this was most definitely a very informative wine tasting. Thank you. Well, I do have to say that is thank you to our lovely experts. So we've got Tara from Indivin and Ariane from Indivin as a senior winemaker. So we just want to thank you guys very much for joining us today to come along and teach us about these amazing wines. And it's something that a lot of our residents and myself haven't tried before. So that's really lovely that we can try new wines. And we really are thankful for you guys' help and guidance with this. So if
Been a
no
pleasure. Thank you all for joining.
Another opportunity.
Oh, we love having you. You know, we could do a wine tasting every day.
So could I.
Yeah, absolutely. If no one has any more further questions, if you do, frantically type them in. But otherwise, we will let you enjoy the rest of your wines that you've got open. You don't have to wait the 2 or 3 days. You can finish them up today. We've got one more comment here, and then we'll head off. Thank you very much from Triumphant. Thank you. We appreciate you guys joining us. All right, we will leave you to enjoy the rest of your afternoon and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Thank
Bye.
you.